Hello everyone, welcome back to Angela's Craft Room, and today I've got a really easy card for you using the Lovely as a Tree stamp set. So just going through inside of the card, and I've just stamped the Lovely of Trees across the bottom of the inside of the card as well, just to follow it through. And this is actually DSP, which is wood textures, I think it's called. It's one of our new ones, and it comes in a 6" by 6" card, and it's just perfect colouring for mail cards. So let's get started, and I'll show you how I created this card. So to start with, I've changed my measurements a bit, as you'll find in my next few tutorials. So this is Island Indigo, and it's 11 inches long by 4 1/8 inch wide, and then scored at 5 1/2. So I've changed the width from, I used to do them 4 1/4 wide, now I'm doing them 4 1/8, because then I can get 2 card bases out of one sheet of A4 cardstock. Okay, so then I've got a piece of just Whisper White, which I've stamped the Lovely as a Tree, which this is the stamp set. It's one of Stampin' Up's oldest stamp sets. I've had it for 3 years, and it's just, I just use it all year round, and Christmas time is fantastic, just adding a little bit of glitter to your trees, and they make fantastic Christmas cards as well. So this piece here measures, now this is going to be a trick because it measures 4 inches by 5 3/8. So I've just got to get used to the new measurements that I'm using. So I'm just going to put this on the inside of the card, just using some snail. Just popping that in. And I found by using these different measurements, it does fit inside the card, and it does make the outside of the card look a lot neater. You're not showing so much cardstock. So that's the inside of the card done. Okay, so then what I did was I used another stamp set, which was the Hardwood stamp set, and this is how it comes out, like this. Now I just want to show you how the best way to stamp that. So I'll just bring in my Misty. Grab the magnets. Now it is a background stamp, so it's a very large stamp. So I've just grabbed, for demonstration purposes, so you know, first I always use a larger piece of cardstock when I'm stamping this particular background stamp, because then what I do is I cut it down. So I might be able to just put my magnet up there just to hold it in place, and I'll just pop another one there. Just have to move them right over to the corner, and it won't matter if we don't cover the whole stamp, because so you just put it on as straight as you can. Just looking at my grid lines, but that's fine. And it will have a little bit of ink on there already, because I've only just used it. Now this is just the early espresso. You just stamp up all over your background stamp. I do use this background stamp quite a lot for the mail cards. Then you just simply pop it down there. Now I'm just going to remove the magnets, trying not to move my... I'm just going to take that back down and hopefully... Oh, it didn't work, the paper. Another way you can do it is so that you get all the ink, you can keep that on top of your background stamp and just rub it over with a tissue, but that's quite a good covering. So that's all ready for me to just cut down to the size that I wanted. Okay, so we'll just pop that to the side and we'll bring back in our base card and our piece of Whisper White stamped with the hardwood stamp, and this piece measures 4 inches by 5 3/8. And then what we're going to do, I'm bringing in a piece of 1/8 of an inch sheer ribbon, which is Calypso Coral, and all I'm going to do with that, I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times. And you'll notice that I'm not putting any adhesive on that, which I might have to just to hold it in place. We'll just see how we go. So I just really want to wrap it around a couple of times like that, and then just bring this piece out the front. Just try and not get it buckled. So I'm just going to go underneath with this one so that we're tying, just give it a bit of a pull so it's firm, and then go underneath, and I might even pop that one underneath that side. And then just tie a knot. And we can move it once the knot's tied. So you can leave it separated if you want, it's just entirely up to you. Just want to turn that over so it's not buckled at the front. So it just adds a bit of colour to your card, like that. And then I'm just going to snip a bit off. Can always snip a bit more off later. Then that's going to go on the top of our card. Then we're going to have a piece of Calypso Coral, which measures 3 7/8 of an inch by 2 3/4. And then we've got a piece of shimmery white, which is 3 3/4 by 2 5/8 of an inch. So we're just going to pop that to the side and just work with our shimmery white first. So what we're going to do is bring in our Soft Sky, and I'm just going to very lightly sponge it. I don't want a lot of colour on it, so I'm just going to sponge over very lightly, and then a little bit with the pink pirouette. So start in the middle with that one. And with the shimmery white, it just leaves that nice little bit of shimmer through, so you've got like a glittery effect once you've stamped your trees. So I don't want too much on there. So you can just see it's just very faint colouring. Hope you can see that, but it's just very faint colouring. So then what we're going to do is bring in our Misty again. So we'll just remove the hardwood stamp. So I'm just going to place it up there, and I'm only going to have enough room to put my magnets on the very edge, because I'm going to stamp my Lovely as a Tree. So I'll just grab out that group of trees that we're going to use on this particular stamp set. So just going to try and put that down. So you just want it hanging off of both sides. So I'll just press that down. So then I'm just going to stamp those trees up with some early espresso, and then just bring them straight down onto the card. So I'm quite happy with that. If you wanted deeper colour, you could stamp your stamp up again, but I'm quite happy with that. So I just want to grab that off, pop that over to the side. I'll just close up my ink pad. Then we're bringing in our piece of Calypso coral, and we're just going to adhere that to there. Very easy card to do. So we've used the Hardwood stamp set, and we've used the Lovely as a Tree stamp set. Then we're just going to pop that straight down like that, and just grab my adhesive eraser. Just a little mark was at the top there that was bothering me. Must have been just a little bit of glue. So you can see why I chose the Calypso coral ribbon. And then we're going to just, I want that piece to come out of there, because we're going to add dimensionals, and it's going to sit right up, and you can even bring, once we add the dimensionals, you can bring that over the top if you wanted to, like that. So to start with, I'm just going to grab my dimensionals, and just pop them, a few of them on. It is a large piece of cardstock, so, and I'm going to be pressing down, so I just want a few going around the side. You don't have to put the dimensionals on if you don't want to. You can just simply use your Snell adhesive and just adhere it to your card like that if you prefer. Quickly pull all the backs off of there, and they're coming off quite easily. So we used Island Indigo as our base, and then we brought in some shimmery white and some Calypso Coral. Like that. Then I'm just going to add, and I normally wouldn't put Snell on ribbon, but because this is so fine, the ribbon, it does work in this case. A very rare time that you will see me put snail over ribbon, but I still don't put any adhesive under the ribbon on the front of my card. Then we just bring back in our base. So I hope to, next month, starting in September, I'm hoping to get some Christmas cards done for you to give you a few ideals. Nothing like starting early. So I'm just going to press down on that hardwood background stamp, and then just gently on the stamps where the dimensionals are. So you can see that's coming together. Then I've just stamped and cut out a happy birthday sentiment, and I've cut that out with the stitch shape framelits, and then I've cut out another piece to go on the back underneath the sentiment in Island Indigo, and this is using one of our new stamps, punches called Label Me Pretty, and it actually goes with this stamp set here, Label Me Pretty. So you can get that, and you can see how easy, and I will show you. I have one inside that I stamped and cut out, and it just makes it so much easier to put it on your cards if you want to put dimensionals under them. It's just, so I think what we'll do this time is we'll just pop a couple of dimensionals on underneath the sentiment, because I'm just going to adhere that to the Label Me Pretty punch cutout that I did, and it's just going to give you a little bit of a border just to break up the white. So if you just Just a matter of getting it where you want. So it's just showing a little bit of that other contrast colour underneath your sentiment. And because it has that curve, you can actually just push it underneath there like that. So I will just grab a little bit of multi-purpose glue. That one's just about run out. So we'll grab the next one. Sorry if I went out of view there. I was only just applying the multi-purpose liquid glue underneath, because I'm just going to go underneath the Calypso coral. And just make sure I've got it straight like I want it to. And that's your card there finished. So you can see that's just such a simple card to do, and with a different background than the hardwood stamp, like some Christmas paper, you could easily make this into a Christmas card. So this is the first one I did, and this is the one that we've just done today. So I hope you'll try that. It's a very easy card to do. And until next time, happy crafting!